Let's get right into it. Number 10, forgetting everything constantly. You walk into a room, stand there for 5 seconds, and immediately forget why you came in. Classic. People watching this think you're either losing your mind or have the memory span of a goldfish. But here's the plot twist. Sometimes being forgetful actually means your brain is efficient. Yep, the chaos in your head is actually a feature, not a bug. See, your brain isn't a perfect hard drive, it's more like a ruthless editor. Forgetting little details isn't stupidity, it's your brain saying, listen, we don't need to remember your third-grade locker combo, Karen. I'm saving room for complex problem-solving and survival. Neuroscientists have found that memory loss of trivial stuff is linked to cognitive flexibility, the ability to quickly adapt, solve new problems, and form new connections. Basically, your brain is Marie Kondoing your memories. If it doesn't spark immediate survival joy, it's tossed in the recycle bin. But when people see you constantly forgetting your keys, they assume you're hopeless. Little do they know your brain is busy thinking about astrophysics, writing code, or, let's be real, just making up fake arguments in the shower you'll never have. Forgetfulness looks dumb in the moment, but it's often just a side effect of a brain that's working overtime. So the next time you forget someone's name 5 seconds after they tell you, don't sweat it. Just explain that your superior intelligence decided to purge their existence for the sake of efficiency, or, just laugh it off while secretly knowing you're smarter than they think. Number 9, talking to yourself. You've definitely done it. Muttered under your breath, had full conversations with yourself in the car, maybe even argued both sides. People who catch you mid-self-debate instantly assume you're unhinged. But the truth? Talking to yourself isn't madness, it's actually a sign of high-level cognition. Psychologists call it external self-talk, and it helps you process information, organize thoughts, and boost memory. It's like your brain outsourcing its chaos to your mouth. Kids do it constantly when they're learning, and intelligent adults keep the habit because it works. Studies even show athletes who talk to themselves, you got this, don't trip, perform better. It might look ridiculous, sure, there you are in the grocery store aisle whispering, eggs, bread, cereal, like you're casting a spell, but really, you're hacking your own brain's auditory processing. Saying it out loud makes it more real, more memorable. Your inner monologue becomes your personal assistant, one that nags, coaches, and occasionally roasts you. Of course, to everyone else, you look like the weirdo mumbling at the bananas, but the reality is, you're using one of the oldest, smartest psychological tricks in the book. Next time someone catches you mid-self-talk, just say, I'm not crazy, I'm optimizing. Then immediately return to muttering like a wizard choosing produce. Number 8, zoning out like a zombie. You're sitting in class, in a meeting, maybe even mid-conversation. Suddenly your eyes glaze over, your brain checks out, and you drift into a daydream about fighting a bear with medieval weaponry. On the outside, you look bored, lazy, maybe even rude, but inside, that's your brain doing some of its best work. Daydreaming is basically mental multitasking. Neuroscientists discovered that when your mind wanders, the default mode network in your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. This network is tied to creativity, problem-solving, and future planning. Essentially, zoning out is your brain's way of connecting random dots and cooking up ideas in the background. Think of it like leaving a pot of soup simmering. From the outside, nothing's happening. You're just staring into space like a malfunctioning robot. But under the surface, your brain is busy inventing stories, predicting outcomes, or constructing that perfect comeback you should have said 3 years ago. So when people think you're spaced out, they don't realize you're actually simulating thousands of possible futures in your head like Dr. Strange. Sure, you might miss what the teacher just said, but hey, maybe you just solved the next big invention in your head. Basically, zoning out isn't laziness, it's your brain's secret laboratory. A laboratory that just happens to make you look like you've got dial-up internet buffering behind your eyes. Number 7. Being a procrastination master. Ah yes, procrastination, the fine art of waiting until the very last second to do literally anything important. People call it lazy, irresponsible, even self-destructive. But plot twist, some types of procrastination are actually linked to intelligence. Here's why. Smart people often suffer from what scientists call analysis paralysis. Your brain overthinks every possibility, every outcome, every what-if scenario, until suddenly you've spent 4 hours staring at a blank Word document and 1 hour researching the history of staplers. Classic. But that overthinking also means you're considering angles other people don't. When the pressure finally hits, your brain sprints at full speed, pulling all those random thoughts together into a last-minute miracle. It's not that procrastinators can't work early, it's that they sometimes work better when their brain is under fire. Studies show that certain creative thinkers deliberately delay tasks because the crunch-time chaos forces them into hyper-focus. It's like your brain sets its own deadline, an adrenaline-fueled productivity hack that looks like laziness from the outside. Of course, this doesn't work for everyone. Sometimes procrastination just leads to crying over a half-finished PowerPoint at 3 a.m. But for the intelligent procrastinator, waiting until the last minute isn't stupidity, it's strategy. Or at least that's what you'll tell yourself while panic typing like a caffeinated raccoon at 11:59 p.m. Number 6. Constantly doubting yourself. Nothing says genius like staring at your finished work and thinking, wow, this is garbage. You'd think self-doubt means insecurity, but ironically, it can be a sign of high intelligence. Because smart people know one painful truth. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Psychologists even have a name for this little paradox, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Basically, dumb people tend to overestimate how smart they are, while intelligent people underestimate themselves. The clueless guy at the office thinks he's a financial wizard because he balanced his checkbook once. Meanwhile, the actual genius is quietly spiraling because she's not sure her groundbreaking research is good enough. Self-doubt pushes you to double-check your facts, refine your work, and keep improving. It can drive innovation because instead of saying, nailed it, you're saying, okay, but what if it could be better? From the outside, though, you look insecure, hesitant, maybe even weak. Inside, you're actually running constant quality control. So yes, doubting yourself might make you feel like a fraud, but in reality, it's your brain refusing to settle for mediocrity. Basically, imposter syndrome is just your intelligence playing dress-up as anxiety. Fun times. Number 5. Overcomplicating everything. Ever meet someone who explains a simple concept like it's an epic novel? That's you. A friend asks, hey, how do I make toast? And suddenly you're giving a TED talk about thermodynamics, bread density, and the philosophy of breakfast. People roll their eyes. But this so-called overcomplication is actually a marker of intelligence. Smart brains love patterns and connections. You can't just answer a question, you have to explore every side road and side quest it opens up. It's not that you can't simplify, it's that your brain is wired to expand. When asked something basic, you start pulling in trivia, theories, maybe even metaphors no one asked for. Congratulations, you've turned toast into a lecture on cultural history. From the outside, it seems like you're making things harder than they need to be, but really, you're demonstrating deep processing. You're not satisfied with surface-level answers because your brain treats every question like a puzzle that deserves a full investigation. Sure, sometimes you lose people halfway through your explanation, but that's not stupidity, it's curiosity running on overdrive. So next time someone sighs and says, you're overthinking this, just nod and say, yes, it's called using my brain. Then continue your 30-minute analysis of why butter distribution is a metaphor for inequality. Number 4. Swearing like a sailor. Number 3. Messy rooms, messy brilliance. Number 2. Staying up ridiculously late. Number 1. Asking stupid questions.